Okay, this is a YZ250X project build bike that I'm going to sell, and I'm going to try to go through what I've got on it off the top of my head. I'll probably miss a few things. Anyway, so here we go. During the pandemic, I was trying to find a YZ250X. Couldn't find one. The shops didn't have new ones, and used ones, I couldn't find a clean used one for a decent price. So I decided to build a YZ250 that I had into an X model. And while I was doing that, I ran into a company on eBay that was parting out brand new 2020 YZ250Xs and also 450Fs. So I ended up buying almost everything new on this bike other than the frame. Try not to go too fast here. Okay, so here's some of what we got. ODI lock-on Rogue grips. I like these, they're soft. It's got the master cylinder. This is the 2023 YZ250 and 250X brake upgrade. At the time, they were 450F parts. I cross-referenced a bunch of part numbers to make sure everything bolted right on without any modifications, and it did. And now if you look at these part numbers, they're the same as what's on the new 2023 bikes. So the diameter of the master cylinder pistons match the diameters of the caliper pistons. The caliper is a more rigid casting, and the rotor is a different design. It's got supposedly 30% more braking area. So it's all brand new stuff. The caliper came with the mount, the pads, just an assembled caliper basically. When I put everything together, I had sealed the fluid in there. When I put everything in together, of course I had to bleed it, so it's all flush with new fluid, new brake lever, new lines. The forks are brand new 2020 YZ250X forks, never been used. If you look at my other video, you can see the paint marks on them. The triple clamps, brand new YZ250X clamps, new bolts. I'm sure I'll forget some stuff here. It's a Polysport plastic kit, other than it's a brand new YZ250X fuel tank, along with the OEM shrouds. And we'll look at it on the other side, but the petcock is a new 250X petcock with reserve. Let's go back to the front wheel. It's a Tusk impact rim and spoke kit. Those are strong, they're good rims. OEM hub, new bearings, new seals. That's an all balls kit. New axle with the spacers. That's all OEM Yamaha. Obviously the hub was all cleaned up. Like I said, you can see the bearings, the seals in there, and the new spacers. Tires, they're Bridgestone. Oh geez, I always forget. Let's find it here. They're Bridgestone Battlecross X31. I'm not sure if you can see that there. New rim locks. They're Bridgestone Ultra Duty tubes in there. Those were expensive, $40 a piece for the tubes. Everything's new, all the bolts. Like I said, the brake cable, it's got a nice new aftermarket clamp on there. Looks nice and works. New kill button. All the electricals on this bike are brand new. The whole harness, everything. Seat cover. Brand new moto seat cover that was just put on about a week ago. I just finally put this project. It's all been stored in the shop, climate controlled. Everything was bagged and tagged and clean, and never got moisture on it. So the moto seat cover was just bought a couple weeks ago and put on. The rear tire is a same thing with the back rim. New Tuscan impact rim, new rim locks. The tubes are the same Bridgestone ultra heavy duties, and this is a Tusk Recon hybrid tire. Those are good tires. All the chain guides are new, chain rollers are new, all these bolts are new, the rear axle is new, the rear axle spacers are new, the wheel bearings in the back are new, the wheel bearing seals are new. New mud flap, the air box is new, OEM Yamaha. There's the Petcock with reserve. There's part of the new wiring harness. You can see that's what goes to the carb. Things are covered up so no dirt gets in. The pipe is a YZ250X takeoff pipe that I actually got off Craigslist from a guy that was that put a FMF pipe on his new bike. So that's the correct YZX pipe. Gas cap's new. The hose is new. Handlebars are new. All these bolts, every bolt on this bike is new. All the, like I said, the rear axle's new. These tires, as you can see, they're brand new. Never been used. The rear brake is a brand new YZ250X brake. New brake rotor. New lines. New hold downs. New master. This is the original brake pedal. I just cleaned it up some. Tusk, some nice Tusk foot pegs. Those are good pegs. All the hardware on these pegs is new. New springs, new pins, new washers, new pin. Same thing over here. That's all OEM stuff there, but everything's new, including the pins that hold them on. Rear shock, that was a takeoff part, again off Craigslist, off of a 2021 YZ250X where the guy bought an Olin shock for. I have no idea why. It's a real low hour part. CDI is a 250X. CDI is for the right ignition curve. Every hose on here is brand new. New clamps, new radiator hoses, new coil. God, the list goes on. I probably forget something important. It's got a new swing arm. The swing arm is a brand new part, along with the bearings. Of course, I repacked all this stuff with maximum waterproof grease, so they're packed like they should be. The factory is always low on grease. The linkages are new, and those are all packed again with the Maxima grease. Radiators are used. They were excellent. Let's see. Oh, the subframe bolt's new. The subframe's in perfect condition. Look at my other video. New brake guide, new bolt. It's got this nice lever. It's gonna need a clutch cable and a throttle cable. Okay, let's go in. I'm trying to make this video short, so I'm probably gonna forget some things. Let's go into the shop and look at the engine situation. So what I have here is an engine that needs to be finished. The carb's a new takeoff part. Again, YZ250X, which they're the same as the 250, regular 250, but it may have slightly different jetting, I'm not sure. Brand new YZ250X cylinder. The exhaust port's up 50 thousandths. Raised, I believe, with the matching power valve. And anyway, that part is new. The piston that went with this was a takeoff off eBay again. The piston that was in that cylinder is right here. So it had probably been started at the dealer or at the factory once, but it's all new stuff. It's got V-Force 3 reeds that are in new condition. There's the boot with a new clamp on it. The covers, the screws, new hose on the side port vent. It's got the exhaust springs, new head bolts, new head nuts, washers, the nuts to hold the cylinder on. OEM came with this piston. OEM wrist pin and bearing. Over here, hope I'm not getting too close with these pictures. Oh, this is actually a YZ250 standard motocross head. So that'll probably be great at high altitudes. Otherwise, you can have those modified for your exact setup for around $90 from most of the companies that do that. So here's a wide ratio kit. All this stuff is brand new, obviously. The whole kit's here. Circlips, spacers, second, third, and fourth gear, or third, fourth, and fifth gear. I'm not sure which is which without looking at part numbers. The instructions. Oh, I forgot to say on the bike, new sprockets, OEM Yamaha sprocket on there. Here's the new front sprocket. You can still see the blue dots on these. All takeoff parts off those new bikes. New O-ring chain off of a YZ250X. These have riveted master links, so you might want to change that. The correct YZ250X power valve. The shim thicknesses are different and the springs different on those. YZ250X, supposedly clutch. There's supposedly the clutch plates have a different material. Anyway, the springs are for sure different. They're supposed to give you 20% easier lever feel. It's got a new throwout bearing, new rod, new thrust washer for the clutch, new clutch bearing and inner, new filter cage. This engine is a 2017 YZ250 engine. So the cases are all good. The engine was off a good running bike. The crank, you know, it has no up and down play. But in my opinion, and this blue is standard when they heat that up to put the pin through, in case people are thinking that's been overheated. It's not. You know, they have a dimension for side-to-side play. I checked that with a dial indicator, and it's getting close. If you're going to put the kit in, you should put the crank in. So I have a brand new Hot Rods crank. So I checked it. You can see possibly where it rubbed on the V-blocks a little bit there. That's not from being installed. That's from me checking trueness after I got it. I always check cranks. So you can see they heat these up too to put the pin in. This thing, every Hot Rods crank I've ever checked has been less than 3/10,000ths of an inch, not thousandths, 10,000ths. This was 0.00027. So these are excellent cranks. Comes with a wrist pin bearing. I'd use the original OEM one if it was me. What else here? Got the shifter, kickstarter. That was all taken apart, cleaned, and greased. Here's the grease I used on all the suspension. No, it's got new steering head bearings in there, OEM Yamaha steering head bearings, and those were all packed nice with grease and adjusted correctly. Everything on that bike was assembled using a factory service manual, torque wrenches, blue Loctite were needed. Here's the exhaust gaskets. What you're gonna need here, what you need on this bike still, I have a list. Let me see if I missed anything. Like I said, I checked that crank for trueness, double checked it when I got it. Those cranks are always good. I've never had one check bad. They're always less than 3/10,000ths of an inch. Needs a clutch and throttle cable, clutch adjuster, main bearings. If you're rebuilding that, I'd go with OEM Yamaha bearings. A gasket kit. If you run into shift fork problems in that engine and when you're rebuilding it, I have a nice set of all three shift forks, and I would hold on to those for a month. Otherwise they'll probably go on eBay. I'll give you a month to look at them, and I'll replace any bad ones that are in there for free. I have an old YZ250 muffler that you could use to test start it. If you're going to ride in the woods, you need a spark arrestor. New FMF turbine cord 2 goes for about $200, probably less on eBay, probably $180. Need a new lock washer for this clutch. The tab, right here. The tab is broken off when they, I guess when they took it apart. A gasket kit. That should finish the bike. An air filter. I have this 250X disc guard. It wasn't as pretty as the rest of the bike, so I didn't put it on. And all the instructions here for this. Factory service manuals available for free on the internet. And this was a good running engine. No issues with it. The crank, there is no up and down play on that rod, but it's getting, I'm telling you, it's getting towards the end of its life, to tell you the truth. Everything on this bike is good. I don't think you'll find, if you tried to put this together, I'm going to definitely lose a couple grand on the parts. But you don't have to, and also you can, a lot of the GP guys go with, like to go with the close ratio tranny, so you can pick which tranny you want in this engine. Also, some people just replace fifth gear and they use the close ratio for the other gears. The gears in this, the 250X gear, third is lower, closer to second, fourth is higher, and fifth is a lot higher. So that's how that is. The things that make the X motor different than the YZ motor are the power valve governor. The power valve is shaped different to match the cylinder. The cylinder has a 50 thousandths higher port. The pipe is different, but it's just tucked in better. Supposedly it doesn't change performance. The ignition is different, which I have right there on the bike. And the clutch is different for a lighter pull. And like I said, supposedly those plates might have a different fiber material. I'm not 100% on that. And obviously the suspension is valve different, which I have right here on this bike. And like I said, it has that nice brake upgrade, that nice blue ribbed gripper seat. There's that new OEM Sunstar sprocket right off of a 2020 250, brand new chain guide. Everything's been tightened. You won't have to mess with any of this when you put it together. I checked, double checked, made lists, and it's done. I think that's about it. I'm sure I'm missing things. I use new bolts everywhere. If I didn't, I got a spec bolt kit. If I didn't have the correct ones, I ordered them from Yamaha. There's a few in there that don't come with it. Oh, one other thing. Like I said, the axles are new, the swing arm bolt's new. All these motor mount bolts are brand new. Look at this. I polished that by hand, the exhaust mount. Every clamp on here is new for the carb, for the new radiator hoses. They're all new. What was I going to show you over here? Oh yeah, all these bolts are new. Also the upper mount, the brackets are new. I don't think you can see that very well. The brackets are new. All the bolts and washers are new up there. That's in the other video, I believe. And that's what I have. It's a beautiful bike. The frame was hand polished. This thing looks so much better than the stock original frames. I even deeper the casting flash on all this. Every inch of it, even the parts you can't see, including the subframe. Hand polished stuff. It was a lot of, way too much time. Now I have that Sherco. I'm probably going to ride that. I'm 64 years old. And I'm only 5'9". That bike's been lowered. I'll probably raise that back up, but the electric start sure makes my life a little easier being older. And I don't know. I'm torn. That bike needs work still. It's got 120 hours on it. This bike, I'm sure the suspension's better on this bike, no doubt. And it would be more lively and snappy to ride, I'll bet. Probably more fun. Anyway, this is the one that's up for sale right now. I've got a CR500 project to build, and I'm worn out with building these bikes. So that's it.